Hey everyone, it is Saturday, June 3rd, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been an excellent day so far. Once again, I'm on time to the session, which I'm really, really excited about, and I'm making really positive changes, guys. Um, I'm definitely like a little fatigued today, but I still feel good, so I'm going to hit some online classes, take my time with that. I'm going to hit a quick drum practice, keep that pretty short, and then hit the production front hard and just keep moving forward with this album as much as I possibly can. I think the goals for today are to map out some type of ideas for the transition from the chorus to the verse, and then map out the rest of the track with just some rough sketch ideas of what I want each part to sound like, and then I'll start going back through the track and just fleshing out all the parts one bit at a time. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's get into it. I'll try to explain as much as I can as we go. All right, excellent session, everybody. I once again sort of was slacking with recording at the end just because I was moving around and kind of trying to get all my ideas sorted out. But I will try to be better about that going forward. So yeah, got in on the online class front, made some good progress with the ear sketch library and the Python programming language. That's my phone. It's telling me I'm supposed to wrap up. Thank you. And then I got in to the music business class and was learning a little bit more about budgeting, what you want to think about planning for musicians, studio time, all that stuff that I think makes a lot of sense if you're trying to fund making a record the traditional way, which I'm definitely thinking about loosely. Like, I don't know if I'm going to end up mixing and mastering this record myself, or if I'm going to want to mix it myself, or if I'm going to want to try someone else out for mixing or mastering or what. I'll probably end up doing all of those and then just picking the best result, honestly. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'll budget for that when the time comes. I'm actually, fortunately, thank goodness, not that worried about that right now. And that hasn't always been the case, so it's good to be grateful for that. But yeah, so good to learn about it for future projects for sure, because I could see myself doing something on a bigger scale down the line, and that'll be important to have a reasonable framework. She was also talking about renting gear, which can be a really fun consideration so that you get higher quality sounds, first of all. And second of all, it just, I think it can make people feel like more legit. It's like, oh, I got this fancy mic, or something like that. I think for me, sometimes that actually, like, can compromise me mentally if, like, the gear is too nice, because I feel like I have to, like, produce something worthy of the gear or something. It's like sometimes I feel more comfortable playing on something that's cheap or like not that special, but then like if I can make it sound cool, then it's like, oh, it's so legit. So that's something for me to look at. I don't know. But that was a funny realization about myself. But I started looking at some fancy guitars and stuff for maybe down the line, and I realized like what I've got is totally perfect for me right now. So yeah, that was great. And then got in on the harmony front, just going deeper with some of the basics of chord theory, like what the dominant chord of the key is, what the subdominant chord is. And if you guys don't know about that stuff, like, I'm pretty sure like a Google search will tell you most of what you want to know. But if you're really curious and you're just getting started, or if you want to know about it specifically related to pop music, which I think is something I struggled with for a long time. It's not hard to find that classical theory stuff out there, but it can be sort of difficult, or it had been for me for many years, to find a good resource that connects it to popular tunes. There's a great book called The Songwriter's Workshop. You can get it on Amazon or Berkeley Press, anywhere. Um, and there's two versions. There's Melody and Harmony. I'm working through the Harmony book right now, and it is totally awesome. There's also a class you can take online. I think that's like a couple grand. But the book is like, I don't know, 20, $30, and like that pretty much, lays it out there. So I haven't taken the class, maybe eventually, but I'm just realizing that I had all those ideas floating around in my head, but I hadn't really like gotten them to coalesce in exactly the way that I wanted them to. And now this is starting to give me like that extra little push over the finish line. So I'd highly recommend that stuff, those resources, if you guys are interested in taking your songwriting and your knowledge to the next level. So worked through that, and then I got a quick drum practice in, just keeping that pretty light these days. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back in deeper on the technical front, but I was thinking I'm probably going to end up doing that anyway when I start tracking drums for this record, because I'm thinking of doing some pretty technical stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's, I think, one of the best ways to develop technique is do it with a purpose. Develop the technique so that you can play something that you really want to hear, that you hear in your head, and rather than just like going through exercises for the sake of it. Not that doesn't have its place, or that's not valuable, because it is, but I think for me, where I am in my development, it makes sense to put a little more emphasis on the strictly musical exercises and stuff that I want to develop for my own sound and my own recordings. So looking forward to that. And then I got in on the production front, and guys, just the breakthroughs and like next level accomplishments are just flowing on this record. I've said it many times over the past few weeks, but I'm just like in this beautiful zone when I get in on the production front, where things are it's just clicking. It's just all coming together. And so much time and energy has gone into preparing myself, I guess, for this moment, or this recording, and it's just really amazing to see myself actually able to sit down and work through things the right way. So to give a specific example, I was coming up with a sort of like a tie from the chorus back into the second verse, because it's in a different key, and so I just mapped out the two keys and the chords, and just like looked at the pivot chords, the chords that are common to both, and thought about which one I could use. And it's such a simple thing, but I guess from using the loop station for so long, I just never experimented with that type of thing that much, because it would be so difficult to make a legitimate key change happen on the loop station, I guess, without some trickery or audio wizardry behind the scenes. So this will obviously give me an impetus when I go to do this stuff live, if I ever do that, to start to come up with some different ways of tackling those things. But now that I've sort of freed myself from that limitation, and I can just do whatever I want, whenever I want, I think that I'm finally starting to develop the harmonic knowledge and getting to apply it the way that I've wanted to for many, many years. So it's a really deep thing for me, guys. I think this level of artistry and musicianship and understanding of the elements involved, and the right skills to be able to execute on my vision, have been so long in the making. I've wanted to get to this point where I could really truly get things out in a way that I felt was legitimate and technically good and sound, and also truly expressive of the message that I want to convey. And that is definitely like the sweetest victory that I could have. And anything else that comes out of that, guys, is truly icing on the cake. And I'm very hopeful that I'll be able to continue doing this in a really awesome way. And I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. But at the same time, like, if I were to put out this record and people were just like, whatever, like, I would know that it was, that I checked that box. It's like, no, I know that I made something that I believed in, and that was really what I wanted it to be. And I'm just so happy that I can say that. So hopefully I'll be able to say that all the way through the end of the record. But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I know that's kind of a longer rant, but I just want to document all this stuff for myself, and if I'm doing it there, I might as well share it with people, and maybe you guys can pull something valuable out of it. So hope you guys are out there grinding towards your goals, enjoying the process as much as possible, having fun with it, not taking it too seriously, not taking it not seriously enough, the right amount of seriousness. And that's what I'm out here trying to do, and I just appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys for more on Monday. I'm off tomorrow, but I will be back soon. Until then.